Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why? Or maybe you've joked, oh, it must be a senior moment. We've all been there, right? It happens. But today I want to talk about something that goes way beyond those everyday slip-ups. I'm talking about Alzheimer's disease, and there's this common fear out there. I hear it from my patients all the time that if you live long enough, dementia is just inevitable, like it's some kind of tax you have to pay for getting older. But here's the truth, and I really want you to hear this. That is absolutely 100% not true. We're seeing millions of cases in this country. Over 6 million Americans are living with it right now. But behind those numbers is a less talked about reality. And it's actually kind of empowering. A lot of the risk for cognitive decline isn't written in our genes. It's actually shaped by our daily habits, things we do every single day without thinking about them. In fact, and this is the part that really surprises people, some things we genuinely believe are healthy could actually be putting our brains at risk. I'm talking about habits that many families are proud of. So today, I want to play detective with you. We're going to identify the real hidden culprits that can accelerate memory loss. And more importantly, I'm going to give you 5 powerful science-backed tools to take control, because with the right knowledge, you can build a brain that stays sharp and resilient even into your 80s and 90s. I have patients in their 80s who are sharper than some 30-year-olds I know. Seriously, let's get started. The 6 early warning signs your brain is trying to send you. Okay, so here's the thing about Alzheimer's. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's like a quiet, slow-moving thief. It doesn't break down the door. It sneaks in through the window. But the good news is it leaves clues. Early detection is absolutely critically key. The earlier we catch this, the more we can do. So let's walk through 6 red flags as I go through these. I want you to think about yourself, your spouse, your parents. Just pay attention. Red flag number 1, selective memory loss. This isn't about forgetting everything. It's a very specific pattern. Have you ever met someone who can tell you every detail about their high school prom from 50 years ago, but they can't remember what they had for breakfast, or they'll ask you the same question 3 times in 10 minutes? What day is it today? You tell them, and 5 minutes later, they ask again. This kind of recent memory loss, forgetting what just happened while distant memories stay clear, is a classic early sign. They might forget appointments, forget they promised to pick up the grandkids, or even forget they left the stove on. And that last one, that's a real safety concern. Red flag number 2, trouble with language, words getting stuck. Have you ever been talking to someone and they just can't find the right word? It's like it's on the tip of their tongue, but they can't reach it. They might start describing things instead of naming them. For example, instead of saying watch, they might point to their wrist and say, the round thing that tells you the time. Or they might call things by the wrong name entirely. This isn't just the occasional slip up, it's a consistent struggle to communicate. Conversations start to feel awkward and difficult. Red flag number 3, confusion with time and place. This goes way beyond not knowing if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. We all lose track sometimes, right? I've shown up to the wrong place on the wrong day before. We all have. This is different. This is getting lost in their own neighborhood, the place they've lived for 20 years, and suddenly they can't find their way home from the grocery store, or they might confuse night and day, waking everyone up at 2 a.m. thinking it's time for breakfast. This loss of spatial awareness is really scary, both for them and for you. Red flag number 4, poor or decreased judgment. This one shows up in subtle ways at first, like wearing a light jacket when it's snowing outside, or not realizing they need to shower or change clothes, but it can get more serious. They might start falling for phone scams or spam emails that they would have seen right through before. I've had patients' families tell me about parents giving away large sums of money to television infomercials or online charities. Their filter for bad decisions just starts to fade, and that can lead to real financial damage. Red flag number 5, withdrawal from activities, the laziness mistake. This one breaks my heart because it's so often misunderstood. Someone who used to love cooking can't follow a simple recipe anymore. Someone who was always social suddenly wants to stay home and do nothing, and families say, oh, they're just getting lazy. They're just getting older, but that's not what's happening. It's not laziness, it's their brain struggling with planning, motivation, and sequencing. It's not that they don't want to do things, it's that their brain is making it incredibly hard to figure out how they get overwhelmed and just shut down. Red flag number 6, changes in mood and personality. This is often the hardest for families emotionally. A sweet, easygoing person might suddenly become angry, suspicious, or easily upset over tiny things. A small disagreement turns into a huge fight, or they might become paranoid, accusing their spouse of hiding things or stealing from them. They might see their reflection in a mirror and think a stranger is in the house. It's like their personality filter has been turned off, and it's confusing and painful for everyone involved. Now, friends, if you notice one or two of these signs, especially if they keep showing up over and over, please don't just brush it off as getting older. I hear that all the time. Oh, it's just age. Some changes are normal aging. These are not. Those early intervention is the most powerful weapon we have. It buys time, it preserves quality of life. Don't wait. The three healthy habits that could be hurting your brain. So we often think of dementia as just bad luck or genetics. It runs in my family. So what can I do? But a huge and growing body of research shows that our lifestyle plays a massive role. In fact, some habits we think are good for us might actually be backfiring. Let's talk about the three surprising culprits. The first culprit, oversleeping, we've all heard it our whole lives, right? Get your beauty sleep. Sleep is the best medicine. And look, sleep is crucial. I'm not telling you to skimp on sleep, but here's what's fascinating. A major study from the University of California looked at older adults over time, and they found something that surprised a lot of people. Those who regularly slept more than 9 hours a night had double the risk of developing dementia over the next 10 years. Compared to those who slept a solid 7 to 8 hours, double the risk. Why would that be? Think of sleep as a reset button for your brain. During deep sleep, your brain is literally cleaning house, clearing out toxins that build up during the day. That's good, but if you sleep too long, you might be dipping into lighter, less restorative sleep. And you're also spending more time lying still, which affects circulation. Plus, long sleep is often linked to overall lower activity levels and health issues that affect your brain. So, what's the takeaway? It's all about balance. For most adults, that sweet spot is 7 to 9 hours. Quality over quantity if you're sleeping 10, 11 hours regularly. It's worth talking to your doctor about why. The second culprit, a strict long-term vegan diet without supplementation. Okay, I know this one might ruffle some feathers, so hear me out. I love plants. I tell my patients to eat more plants every single day. A plant-forward diet is fantastic for your heart and your overall health. But here's the catch, and this is important. Your brain is a very hungry, demanding organ. It's only about 2% of your body weight, but it uses about 20% of your energy, and it needs specific nutrients to function correctly. One of the most critical is vitamin B12, and B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products: meat, fish, eggs, dairy. If you're eating a strict vegan diet long term and you're not supplementing, you are almost guaranteed to become deficient eventually. It's not a question of if, but when. And here's the scary part. Research from places like Harvard has shown that a long-term B12 deficiency can lead to actual nerve damage and cognitive decline. It mimics dementia. We call it pseudodementia sometimes because it looks just like Alzheimer's, but it's actually a vitamin deficiency. The same goes for omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, which is a major structural component of your brain. The best sources are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines. Studies have linked low omega-3 levels to a higher risk of cognitive decline. So if you choose a vegan or even a strict vegetarian diet, and many of my patients do very successfully, you absolutely must supplement with B12 and consider algae-based omega-3s. It's not optional, it's a necessity for your brain health. We need to be smart about how we eat, not just restrictive. I'm not saying eat a giant steak every night. I'm saying a balanced diet with fish a couple times a week, eggs, maybe some Greek yogurt. That's brain food. The third culprit being obsessively clean, the hygiene paradox. This one fascinates me. We're all taught from a young age, wash your hands, keep things clean, kill the germs. And obviously, basic hygiene is essential. I'm a doctor. I wash my hands 100 times a day. But have you seen those cleaning product commercials promising a germ-free home? That's not actually a good thing. Here's why. Our bodies have co-evolved with bacteria and microbes for millions of years. We have a whole ecosystem living inside us and on us. It's called the microbiome, and it's crucial for training our immune system to work correctly. Some really interesting research, including studies from the UK, suggests that overusing harsh chemical disinfectants, the stuff that promises to kill 99.9% of bacteria, can actually disrupt our microbiome. It can lead to what's called chronic low-grade inflammation. And inflammation, friends, is now considered a key driver of so many diseases: heart disease, diabetes, and yes, Alzheimer's. We're seeing more and more evidence that Alzheimer's has an inflammatory component. Plus, Some of those chemicals we spray all over our kitchens, we breathe them in, they land on our skin, they get absorbed. We don't fully understand the long-term effects of chronic low-dose exposure to these compounds, especially on the nervous system. So what's the takeaway? By all means, keep your kitchen counters clean, wash your hands, but we don't need to live in a sterile bubble. We don't need to douse everything in bleach, let your immune system see a little bit of the outside world, open a window, use natural cleaners like vinegar and soap, give your immune system a normal, healthy environment to work in. The 5-step brain protection plan, take control starting today. Okay, so now we know what to watch for and what to avoid. But I don't want to leave you feeling worried. I want to leave you empowered. Here are my top 5 strategies to build a healthier, more resilient brain. This is stuff you can start doing today. No fancy equipment, no expensive supplements, just science-backed habits. Step 1, challenge your brain, become a lifelong learner. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's that simple. Retirement shouldn't mean your brain retires too. So what does this look like in real life? Read deeply. Don't just scroll through social media or skim headlines. Read a book, read a long form article in a magazine, and actually think about it. What's the author's argument? Do you agree? That act of engaging with ideas is a workout for your brain. Learn a new skill. This is huge. The process of learning something completely new creates new neural pathways. Learn to play a simple song on the piano. Learn a new language using an app. Even 10 minutes a day helps. Try painting or knitting or woodworking. Anything that uses your hands and your mind together is gold. Play games, and I don't mean mindless phone games. I mean Sudoku, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, chess bridge, games that make you think and strategize. Doing this with friends or family is even better because you add a social component. Step 2, get your body moving. Exercise is brain food. What's good for your heart is good for your head. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients. It also stimulates the release of chemicals that protect brain cells. The American Heart Association and researchers at Harvard Medical School both point to the same goal. Aim for 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity a week. That's just 30 minutes 5 times a week. And moderate means you can talk, but you can't sing. A brisk walk around the neighborhood, a bike ride, swimming, a dance class, it all counts. And studies show this can reduce your dementia risk by 35 to 50%. That's huge. That's better than any medication. For my older patients, I'm also a big fan of Tai Chi. It's not just movement, it requires focus and balance, which is a fantastic mind-body workout, and it's gentle on the joints. Here's a little bonus. Finger exercises. I know it sounds silly, but your hands have a huge representation in your brain. Doing simple finger exercises like pretending to play piano or tapping each finger to your thumb in sequence actually stimulates your brain. It's like a mini workout you can do while watching television. Step 3. Stay socially connected. Loneliness is a toxin. This is one of the most underrated factors in brain health. Loneliness is like a slow toxin for the brain. Chronic social isolation deprives your brain of stimulation and can accelerate decline. There was a fascinating study that followed over 2,100 older adults. They found that those with active social lives had a 70% slower rate of cognitive decline compared to those who were isolated. 70%. That's enormous. So what can you do? Pick up the phone. Don't just text. Have an actual conversation. Hear someone's voice. Join something, a book club, a walking group, a volunteer organization, a choir. Find people who share your interests. Connect with your neighbors. Even just chatting with the person next door or the barista at your local coffee shop. These small interactions matter. They keep your brain flexible and engaged. Step 4, eat for your brain, the mind diet approach. I'm a big fan of the mind diet. It's a hybrid of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet, specifically designed for brain health, and study after study shows it can significantly lower your Alzheimer's risk. We're talking 30 to 35% reduction. What does it look like? Lots of leafy greens, spinach, kale, salad greens, berries, not just any fruit, but especially blueberries and strawberries, nuts like walnuts, which are high in brain healthy fats, whole grains, and fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, rich in omega-3s, which are literally the building blocks of your brain. And here's something I tell my patients: instead of reaching for chips or cookies as a snack, grab a small handful of walnuts. Instead of red meat every night, have fish a couple times a week. Small, smart swaps make a big difference over time. And yes, dark chocolate in moderation. The good stuff with high cocoa content is actually on the list. So there's hope. Step 5, manage your emotional health. Keep your cool. Chronic stress, anxiety, and depression aren't just emotional burdens. They physically impact your brain. They can actually shrink the hippocampus, that's the memory center. Prolonged stress floods your brain with cortisol, and too much cortisol is toxic to brain cells. So finding ways to de-stress isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for brain health. Find your outlet. It could be meditation, it could be prayer, it could be gardening or listening to music or just talking things out with a trusted friend. Whatever works for you, do it regularly. Develop hobbies. Things that bring you joy and take your mind off your worries. I have patients who swear by fishing or bird watching or pottery. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it engages you and makes you happy. Try to cultivate gratitude. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but there's real science behind it. Even in tough times, finding small moments of joy and appreciation can protect your brain from the damaging effects of chronic stress. Laughter really is good medicine. Conclusion, you have more power than you think. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. Alzheimer's is a scary word. I get it, it runs in families. It's in the news and it's something we all worry about as we get older. But here's what I want you to take away. We are not powerless against it. You have more control than you think. Let's recap the 3 big things to remember. Number 1, stop the habits that hurt your brain. Stop believing that more sleep is always better. Aim for that 7 to 9 hour sweet spot. If you're eating a strict plant-based diet, please make sure you're supplementing with B12 and getting your omega-3s. Don't let your brain starve, and ease up on the harsh chemical cleaners. You don't need a sterile home. A little dirt is good for your immune system. Number 2, watch for the 6 warning signs: memory loss, language problems, confusion, poor judgment, withdrawal, personality changes. If you see these, don't ignore them. Don't let embarrassment or fear stop you from talking to a doctor. Early intervention is everything. Number 3, start the 5 protective habits today. Challenge your mind, learn new things, move your body, get that blood flowing, connect with others. Loneliness is a risk factor. Eat smart, think fish, nuts, berries, greens, manage your stress, find your calm. These 5 strategies are the most powerful, most affordable medicine we have. They're not glamorous, but they work. They're built on decades of research. And one last thing, and this is really important, if you or someone you love is showing early signs, please don't hesitate. Don't wait, go see your primary care doctor. Ask for a referral to a neurologist or a memory clinic. There are treatments now that can slow progression, especially if caught early. There are clinical trials. There is hope. The sooner you act, the more memories you can save, the more quality time you can preserve. If this video was helpful to you, if you learned something or you're feeling a little more empowered than when you started, please hit that like button. It really helps more people find this information, and share it. Send it to your friends, your siblings, your neighbors. Let's start a conversation about brain health. Let's help everyone stay sharp. Thanks so much for watching and for trusting me to walk through this with you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer, this information is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your own doctor before making any changes to your health routine. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace your physician.